What's up, you guys? Sean Ross Sapp here with a few names you know, and you know them because it seems like I talk to him every 2 weeks at this point, especially Gallows turned into a cartoon on me at one point.
Hey, I can't control that, man. I'm going to set up shop in your backyard until we get finished promoting TalkNShopAMania 2. Is that cool?
I mean, property value is really cheap out here. I mean, Karl left us. Like, what could be better than like the Kentucky, Cincinnati area? What's so much better in Florida?
Let me tell you, I do miss Cincinnati, I miss Northern Kentucky, man. I spent a lot of time there, and I miss the bite of the cold. I landed in Nashville for Bound for Glory last week. I know that sounds crazy, but I landed in Nashville. I got off the plane and I went, fuck, and I was freezing. I didn't even think about it. But because, I'm outside every single day in Tampa. The sun is shining every single day. But just a couple days ago, I went on my back deck and it was like 58, 59, and I was freezing. But that feels pretty good compared to like the 20s and shit that you guys get.
Oh yeah, and Rocky out in California is looking at us like we're dumb right now.
Yeah,
he hates the cold.
A bite of cold? That sounds terrible.
It is terrible.
It sure does. It sure does sound terrible.
Oh, man. Well, you guys have TalkNShopAMania 2 coming up. When I set something up with Gallows like 2 weeks ago, I was like, oh, we're just promoting TalkNShopAMania. No, you all had other stuff going on, like Bound for Glory and a cartoon and alcohol, all this stuff that's going on right now. Gallows, maybe get me started about how the talks came about to do TalkNShopAMania 2.
Well, as soon as I saw the reaction on Twitter, that was the first inclination. And then when we first got the initial buy rates, we were like, oh, shit, we didn't fail. Perfect. So, I was hoping that it would go that way, but we were very nervous because, as you saw and were a part of, it was a shit show. And we got excited again. I got excited again, first out of the gate, kind of like this happened the last time. It's like, I got all boned up for it, and then I had to get the boys involved, and I had to kind of talk them into it. But then when they got on board, we were full scale in it. I came up with a rough draft. They started tweaking, and next thing you know, it's time to shoot. And it came up quick because we wanted to get this one out before the year's end. And sidebar, I got booked to do this TV show in Atlanta, so I was gone the whole shooting day, and I was out of my mind wanting to be here and talking to these guys and texting these guys. And when I couldn't get them, texting the other talent that were here and texting my wife and just bothering the hell out of everybody while I sat in a trailer, wishing that I could be there to support my baby.
And they're at your house, right?
But yeah, even the pay-per-view companies, so Gallows was kind of on us about, dude, we got to do part 2. And me and Rock are like, nah, dog, take it easy, man. And then all of a sudden the pay-per-view companies are side texting Gallows going, it's time to rev out another one, brother. And it's like, that's when you hit a success.
Yeah.
And then he's going to he's telling us we need to pump this out and we need to do it quick. And I'm going, what the fuck? Come on, guys.
Yeah. This exposes Rocky's lying and his double personality a little bit because he was side texting me, telling me, "Yeah, let's get it going. We got to strike while the iron's hot." But then side texting Karl and going, "This is a shit, so I don't want to be part of it." And then when I'm telling them, "Hey, the pay-per-view companies are going wild," well, of course, there's money for them, lots of it. So here we go. And then once Rocky got excited and he gave up the double personality thing, we started letting him budget things, and that's when we really went off the rails, Sean.
Yeah, Rocky's out there treating it like it's The Departed or Moneyball. You can't do a sequel. He
thought it was The Matrix.
The Matrix Reloaded.
He didn't understand it was backyard wrestling is the problem.
Full blown. He went full blown. When you see Chavo versus Chico, I suggested Chavo versus Chico death match, right? And I suggested it to be like Monty Python, where maybe we do something where Rocky gets his arm cut off and we make it really look stupid in Gallows' backyard and there's blood spitting out. And we're like,
we think that's hilarious, right? Yeah. And then next thing you know,
well, Rocky shows us what he did. And I said, you turned it into the fucking Matrix Reloaded, bro. Like, really?
Yeah.
You got Mr. Yeah. I mean, like, no shit.
All the money too. I spent the same budget.
Yeah.
Chavo versus Chico looks like The Matrix.
Rocky, did you get CGI done? Like, did you have a CGI?
Yes.
Gallows is CGI'd.
Listen to me. This is real. Rocky Chico versus Chavo cost more than the entire TalkNShopAMania one. I'm not shitting you.
Well, Gallows. So the storyline is Gallows is CGI'd because he wasn't there for the day, but like we CGI'd his ass because he became so rich he didn't want to deal with having to go outside to see the peasants.
So my question is, Gallows, did you make more money off the pay-per-view or the action figures that Brian Myers sold out of your house that day of the filming?
Well, I'll tell you this, Sean. I still haven't got my pay-per-view cut yet, and I still don't know exactly to the dollar. Yesterday, I found out that there was an amazing crafts and services table out in Los Angeles, top-of-the-line catering, probably masseuses, chiropractic. It sounds like no expense was spared. So I'm still trying to count my chickens here and see where I ended up on this thing.
I thought you were going to tell me that Myers didn't give you the money yet.
Oh, well, no, his ass knows the deal. PayPal before there's any signatures from the big LG, baby.
No, but TalkNShopAMania 1, though, Sean, I watched your review, bro, and I was laughing watching your review. You were fucking losing your mind. And
you were popping for it, yeah.
It was one of those things where while it happened, like usually I decide what we're going to review beforehand. And then I watch it and I was like, I got to review this. There's no way that I can't. And now we're doing a thing because we're going to watch it. We're going to review SmackDown. Then we're going to rewatch it right from the beginning. That way people can watch it without us talking over it. And then we're going to watch it side by side and just react to it moment by moment because it's like I couldn't possibly fit everything in there. Especially like Paul Lee's entrance, that would have been a review of its own.
Yeah, yes. Paul Lee's a review of his own.
Yes, he is.
Brother, wait until you see his entrance this time.
Well, there's three new factions coming to TalkNShopAMania 2, and
we've revealed one in a preview, Retribution. They'll be there.
Well, Chad Tubad's bringing Retribution, and when they get killed off or they get punched or they die, they shit themselves. Or
hey, whatever. I mean, if it's one thing you guys know, it's faction-based wrestling. I mean, my God.
That's true. I'm a faction man. So 3 factions, 1 pay-per-view, all debuting. I love it.
So, Rocky, why did you all even need New Japan Strong? TalkNShopAMania is right here. They got all the factions ready to go.
That's true.
Who needs Chaos and Bullet Club, any of that, when you got this?
Yeah, we got Retribution and another one that's kind of the biggest storyline in this whole Talking Shop.
What a reveal this faction's going to be.
What a reveal. And heavy hitters in this faction. I mean,
yeah.
Well, and like
some budget busters in this faction, guys.
Yeah.
Well, like Sex Ferguson brings his whole family, and he's got Uncle Bobby.
That's almost a 4th faction. I forgot about that.
he's got the Sex Ferguson family comes to the main event to help, but you got to remember the Fergusons can't fight worth a shit. So
hey man, what other spoilers over the course of our interviews over the next day or two?
It's all a spoiler.
There's no reason to watch the fucking thing.
The powers of pain are there too, brother.
Oh my God. So there are some honest to God serious things going on in wrestling. I mean, Rocky Romero.
Are there?
Well, Rocky popped up on Full Keg, and it does have me wondering, with all the references to New Japan, have you gotten any feedback from them about this? Like, have they said, oh, cool, or have they said, what the fuck are you doing? Type of thing.
We're talking ShopAMania. Yeah. I mean, I mean, I know they're watching. You're probably like,
because he got billed.
Yeah.
Right though, Rock. It's almost like though, like I don't know how to say this. Like me and Gallows have such a good relationship with like the people that are in the higher ups in New Japan Pro Wrestling, and I was there for so long. Right. I almost feel like they're giving Rock a pass on all this. Like
a little bit.
I don't wonder because. I mean, I have talked to people like Davey Boy Smith Jr., who he wanted to work Impact a couple years ago, and they're like, no. And when he asked why, they said, Jeff Jarrett fucked us over. And he's like, he ain't here. He ain't there anymore. Like, but then he's like, well, they did screw with Okada. They switched tag titles without even asking New Japan. But that was before this regime. So
new management.
Like, do you?
Yeah, we're working on repairing all this.
Yeah.
Just give us time.
So that kind of led to a question I had for Rocky. Chris Bay is working like the Super J Cup. Do you think that like his performance or how he does there, even though it's a bit of a different wing, is that important in rebuilding that bridge?
I think it's, just him being involved is obviously, important to rebuilding a relationship with Impact and New Japan. And, I've got to say, like you said, with the Full Keg special, me being a part of it was a big deal. Even, Impact being so cool with shouting out New Japan Strong and New Japan World, on the special as well. I think, it just, little steps here and there, I don't know what's going to happen in the future, obviously, but I think it's definitely moving in the right direction. And there's they've definitely are more friendly than they have been for a very long time. That's for certain. And I think it's a testament to the Good Brothers and their relationship with both companies and how they, they're so important for both companies. And they, the respect is deep there. And I think they have a lot to do with it as well.
Yeah, it seems like this regime seems more inclined to want to do that. I mean, I know there was the Access New Japan situation as well, which, a lot of us wish that it was still on Access. I mean, we got to hear Carl Anderson curse all the time on TV.
Sure did.
That was the shocker to me. The first episode when Carl Anderson walked through and he goes, "Well, fuck," and I was like, "What? They're allowed to do this? Like what?"
That's why that was part of the Bullet Club love. Like you actually got to see us just be us for a little bit, and then it got to be on TV like that. And I think all that's going to be repaired as well because there's a whole new regime at Impact right now. And I think us moonwalking into Impact and being so close with the higher ups there, and then with Rock being working with us and us being close with the higher ups in New Japan as well. We're all working really hard to repair everything. And like I think by 2021. By the summer of 2021, there's going to be a lot of big shit that's happened by then, especially once we can get the world open back up.
And
game changer.
Do you remember when Gato pulled us aside and said, Chado Gallows, please? He said, yes, Gato-san, please. American TV, baby, no more fuck. We're just going, fuck.
Yeah. I go, oh, man, okay.
Okay.
Oh, man.
So for a short while, I stopped cussing.
So as far as Rocky, I mean, New Japan does, because of the situation that is experienced right now, they pretty much have a brand split right now because of New Japan Strong and all that. How has working in and around that been?
I mean, it's been cool. I think, all the guys who have been a part of Strong have really, really been working really hard to make a good product and put on really good matches in front of like no audience, and that's always harder, especially I think, when you see the Japanese side and they're in front of 3,000 fans, you're going, damn, I wish I could be doing that too. But I think Strong has been cool as hell in its own way, and just kind of as it finds its identity, but it's still very much a part of that Strong style, New Japan style. It's just very stripped down wrestling, which is cool, and not a lot of BS, not a lot of soap opera. It's like it's still important of like wins and losses are important, and who's trying to control the whole the narrative. So I feel like I don't know. I love Strong. I think there's a lot of growth there. I think I would love to see it continue to grow, and maybe on some different channels,
Sure.
or maybe on TV somewhere. I think that's where the real potential of Strong could be. And, because being on New Japan World, obviously it's a limited audience. But what's crazy is the Japanese audience has really turned out each and every week to watch it, which is really cool. So, the biggest fans of it so far have been the Japanese. And I think it's cool because they get to watch new talent kind of be introduced, people like, Danny Limelight,
sure.
And Clark Connors grow on it, and Carl Fredericks as well, has been really important to Strong. And it's almost like an NXT type of thing, kind of brand split going with it's more based on this young talent,
And I mean,
what he's saying, basically what he's saying is like Strong is like Raw Underground and Talking Shop is fake. So that's what we're trying to get at. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. But Retribution.
So Strong is real. So Strong is the real shit. And then Talking Shop is when we fake it all up. You know?
Right.
Well, Talking Shop's we live in a different universe. It's an alternate universe where Talking ShopAMania exists. Yeah. We covered this yesterday.
I don't know if you guys are hip to this, but like as part of this gig, we got to cover like the quarterly calls and stuff. And during that second quarterly call, it was the first time in like 25 of those I had ever heard investors say, "Hey Vince, what are you doing about storylines? What are you doing about viewership?" That next Monday, you had Retribution and Raw Underground. Like, that was a very reactionary move. Does this surprise you all at all based on your experience there that he was like, guys in masks, throwing Molotov cocktails? I mean, that sounds like a creative meeting that you guys would have.
Well,
it actually is a creative meeting we had the second he debuted it.
Things, right?
Hey, he obviously knows what he's doing. Say whatever he thought of, he thought of it because he business decision, man. That's
of course he knows what he's doing, but sometimes he makes business decisions, and we call each other and go, we fucking have to spoof that.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong. Now we got Retribution that's showing up, and we have a real fighting segment on Talking ShopAMania too as well. It's called Roll Undershed, where that fighting
fights.
That fighting is real, and the other shit, and the ball versus ball is fake.
Yeah. That's the shooting. They're not shoot fights; they're hoot fights at Roll Undershed.
But watch. See, I can't even get it out, bro. So watching Vernon Love and his son fight each other in this Roll Undershed. Like it's Vernon Love is Gallows' minion, right? And like his actual real son, he's
coming over to wash the dishes in an hour. But anyway,
well, they're having the real shoot fight in Roll Undershed, and they're beating the fuck out of each other in a really weird way. It's fucking funny, man. Jesus.
There's a scene in there where he's trying to hit somebody with a weapon, and it takes him about an hour and a half, and I just fucking lose it every time.
Well, of course, the main event is ball for a ball, right? So you would hope that the whole match, the whole show, people would avoid ball shots, right? Well, everybody hits each other in the balls the whole show.
You all need better agents.
Psychology, brother. We're gonna have to start. Yes, we need.
Don't worry. We made comments on it on commentary the whole time.
No. The way we agent your matches, we bury you on commentary for the world to see afterwards.
You all need the spot and the wrestler. No, I'm working the nuts tonight. Yeah. You go for the arm. One of those.
Fuck.
Oh man, is there an agreement in place to do Talking ShopAMania 3?
Oh yeah, Sean. Yeah, they don't know about it yet.
Is there?
I want Talking ShopAMania 3 to happen in front of a live audience when the world opens. I've already had preliminary conversations about this.
The main event's already set. We've already got the main event for 3.
Really?
Let's just we can't.
You tell me.
I've been exposing everything, but
you can tell me.
You can tell me, brother. No.
Yeah.
We've already got it all set. Basically,
spoiling Karl Anderson, ladies and gentlemen.
I can't spoil that one yet, though. Let's just get the rise of the cock torturer over first, guys.
Cock torturer.
Oh my God!
We have to switch it anyway if this pay-per-view doesn't sell at all. Yeah. And not over, then we might have to completely abandon just that it even happened to. And
you can imagine the ball for ball like verbiage, right? Like, I mean, I take a rope, I tie it around Sex. Well, Chad Too Bad takes a rope and ties it around Sex Ferguson's nutsack and tries to pull it off with a truck. Like,
oh, of course.
Sex Ferguson has a what's it called, a shocker or whatever, trying to shock my nutsack, and I'm just screaming, going nuts.
Many things. Borrow the mountie spot in there.
Borrow Jacques Rougeau's mountie gimmick.
Yes.
You never know who's going to show up in the Talking ShopAMania world, you know?
Well, and of course the verbiage of me saying I'm gonna rip your balls off and take a bite out of them, and he goes, Jesus, don't do that. I mean, that kind of stuff. And I go, maybe I won't. I don't know.
Oh, man. As we start to wrap up, Gallows, you got slapped by Ethan Page.
I got slapped by him, so I had to whoop his ass Tuesday night.
It
was a lot of fun, and that leads us into Turning Point, November the 14th. Impact Plus app, $7.99. Every pay-per-view in Impact history, all these specials, and great independent content such as my own Lariato Pro Wrestling, where you can see Machine Gun and I win the Lariato Pro Tag Team titles.
I think we complete the cycle at Turning Point, though, right?
Yeah, that's our triple crown, baby. If we get those Impact Tag Team titles, when we get those Impact Tag Team titles, that's a triple crown ski for us, good brother.
Quadruple crown with Lariato Pro Tag Team.
Oh well, I mean, I wasn't even going to put that in there, but you're right.
Well, if you want to talk about all the indies, the indie tag titles I racked up, where my partner had a different looking title from mine, like in the Kentucky Indies.
Yep.
Where I had the world championship because I thought it looked cooler than the Intercontinental Championship, and we were the tag champions at the MCW.
Oh, I wrestled a show where these two guys came in with their own belts, and they were for sure like not like they weren't WWE toy belts; they were knockoff toy belts. And I'm like,
even better.
Did you think those were going to make it on the show? And I guess I was the asshole because they did make it on the show.
Of course, they made it on the show.
Well, things like Vernon Love, we have a Lionheart title, and last show Vernon goes, "Hey, sorry, I forgot it," and I went, "You fucking asshole!" Well, now I got to change it.
Well, guys, kind of last pitch as we get off here. TalkNShopAMania 2. We will be, right after TalkNShopAMania 2 is done, Fightful.com will be doing a live, a watch-along of what just happened. We're going to try to make sense of it.
Yes.
So,
it's better, man. You're going to enjoy it.
Gallows, any final words?
Friday, November the 13th, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, worldwide pay-per-view available on iPay-per-view via the FITE app, where you can pre-order TalkNShopAMania 2 right now. Go to our website, tnsmania.com, for all things Talk and Shop, including the podcast, alcohol updates, the wine's available right now. If you order a case or more, it's free shipping anywhere in the United States. All kinds of cool stuff going on. Please follow our social media. Follow at The Real Gimmicks, our new animated series. Follow us at Azucar Rock for Rocky Romero, at Machine Gun KA for Karl Anderson, and at _Big LG. Join us live November 22nd, Baltimore, Maryland. Jimmy's Famous Seafood, the first ever Talkin' Shop-A-Mania live with all your favorite Talkin' Shop-A-Mania characters and our very own live podcast.
Please drink as much as you can, or safely and responsibly, or smoke as much CBD oil as you possibly can safely before you watch this pay-per-view on the 13th.
Also, Rocky, thank you for being willing to ruin the illustrious career you have had for the sake of our entertainment.
Oh, yeah.
It is much appreciated.
We appreciate that.
Guys, until next time, we're out.